All right, so here's the mess of my office that I have to clean up. There's like kids' toys, random paintings. I don't want the computer this wall because the lighting is not great when I go do filming. And so we are gonna change it all up, put everything over here, get rid of the box. I kind of feel guilty about the box. It's like, kids love boxes, and we made that, like, kids love playing with it, but they've kind of got all the sick of it's gotten old. So anyway, we're gonna rearrange this. All right, I am in a nice, new, refreshed office, and it feels so good. I hate like that initial cleaning, but once you get it done, it feels great. First, I wanted to start off by say thanks for tuning in, but give you kind of my agenda moving forward unless it changes. So I want to work on consistency of content. I know people that are consistent with content I follow and appreciate and like. Here's what the content looks like, video and audio podcast wise looking forward. So we're gonna have two main things we're gonna do. So I'm gonna do a weekly update, and that's gonna be every Tuesdays. So this will launch every Tuesday, and then I'll do the podcast. I'll just take that, literally the video recording, and move it over to a podcast on the next Wednesday. And then Friday we'll have in a podcast interview. So I have a really fun idea planned for that. You'll find out more on Friday. I'll be doing Thomas Sims, my business partner, so you get to meet him face to face and see what we're doing and chat about it. And hear his story, and that'll be good. But yeah, for these weekly updates, I want to just give you a snapshot of like where we're at in the business. Again, hopefully as time goes on and I'm out and about more, there'll be more dynamic video than just me sitting in front of a camera or like cleaning a room. But for now, I think this will suffice because we're just trying to document the journey, and it's kind of fun to see the rawness up front and maybe the more professional fun stuff later on. So this is probably the last full week for working as the CEO of CR Solar, and it was amazing. It was really good. Got a lot done. I don't have a numbers update yet, but we're definitely on the up and up. When we meet with our finance partners for solar, we have financing for customers, and then we also look at our proposal numbers, and everyone we're meeting with are like, wow, your numbers are really climbing. You must be doing something different. So that's really good. I guess to start out with a story to tell you where we're at, what we're doing. So I served a mission for my church, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, out in South Korea. And South Korea's awesome place. Among lots of things they're known for are three really big companies: Samsung, Hyundai, and LG, right? There's other ones too. But those are like SK and whatever, but those are like the big ones, right? And I met a lot of employees from those companies. And I remember one guy in particular, I don't remember his name, but he was the engineer that did the hinges for LG refrigerators. Like, so if you have an LG fridge or seen an LG fridge, I know the guy that engineered and patented that hinge. He was super proud of it. But what I remember most was how he talked about the framework and structure of how LG developed new products. And I met with Hyundai engineers and Samsung people, and it's very similar, almost exactly the same. If you've read like Steve Jobs' biography or looked at how Apple develops products, they really pioneered it, and everybody follows it. But I've heard that story, seen that framework, and like that's really impacted how I like to build a business and grow it. Now, like the hard part, the one thing that is different is like if I'm developing like a computer mouse, I know like the dimensions, what it has to do, the weight, the function, like I know all that. A business is a little more abstract, right? It's more like people-based and finances and all these other things. So it is a little bit harder to visualize. What I found is if people can get a really solid, like not just, I should say people, like from the executives to like the basic entry-level worker know exactly what the business is trying to build. Like you get so much better like output from everybody. It has such a better experience. And so that's what we're really working on this week is not me, and the way we do this is not me going from like a top-down position, like this is the vision, but it's like me meeting with all the employees and figuring out like what their vision is there in their life, figuring out what the company vision is, and like bridging the gap between those two. And it's different for everyone. Like for salespeople, it's like, okay, what's your income goal? oh, you made 35, we had one today, they made $35,000 a year before, and this year they want to make 60. It's like, okay, when we can work backwards and figure out how many sales and leads and whatever you have to get that number. For operations employees, they're not as necessarily financially motivated like a salesperson is, but they do want the better of life. And so the question we're asking our operations people is, how can we make your life 10% better? And then we're just reversing that question, saying, how can you make the company 10% better? And we're figuring out ways how, a professional development and growth plan for each employee, so they know like where they're at right now, where they want to be, and how to bridge the gap to get there. And it's so good, so like refreshing to do that, because I think sometimes we just want to grow for growth's sake or have a business just to like make the paychecks. But if we can tie that to something like a purpose and a target, then you work so much faster, better, and it's actually a more enjoyable experience. And so that's what we're working on this week. But to give you a recap of, as we've had those conversations, what we've worked on. This last week, we've been able to do a new customer welcome packet, which is really rare in solar. Like you buy a car and they give you like a user manual and they give you like product information. Like most solar companies don't have that. So we published that out. A cleaner customer agreement, pay plans. I'm looking at my list right here. Rep pay plans, right? So like unifying, getting pay plans together for reps. So they know like how they're getting paid, what they're getting paid, when they're getting paid, what the income opportunity is. Also, we were working on the rep experience, getting new tools to develop it, the proposal tools. So like with solar, we give a proposal to customers, and how you get that proposal is a lot different. So we're working with our partners, Aurora, to use AI to automatically generate a proposal within like 30 seconds, like super quick for really cost-effective amount. So people can get those instantly, right? Because one thing you want to always do is compress time and compress work so that you don't have to repeat the same activity over and over again. So right now we're looking at like, okay, what activities is everybody doing 2 or 3 times in? Let's see, instead of maybe even 6 or 7, data entry, or people putting the same data in 6 times. And what if we can shrink that down to 2 or 3? That's just like a quick update this week. I don't want to take too much of your time. I originally filmed this video and it was like 11 minutes long. I was like, oh, I'd go crazy if 11 minutes. But that's what we're doing right now. And again, the purpose of this is to document the journey, and it'll get better as you go. I'm looking if there's anything else I need to put. I had notes on here. I think that's it. Have the end in mind, know where you're at, and then take the baby steps to incrementally grow up to there. And that's where we're at. Probably it'll be the next episode will be the end of the month. And so we can give a numbers update on where we're at to that 0 to 60. So that'll be fun to see and hold ourselves accountable, and everybody else can see that vision and push for us to get it. So I'll be doing podcasts this next week. So one favor I have asked, if you have somebody that's very fascinating or interesting that we can interview, I would love to connect with those people to interview them. They don't have to be in solar. They could be in business in general. We're doing this next week. We're going to do them in person, which will be live. It'll be good. But every other week we'll do like one week will be live, next week will be Zoom. So if you have somebody else that's wherever in the world we can interview them, that'd be great. Anyway, we will chat with y'all later.